This video demonstrates the virtual PC simulator in EVENG. To demonstrate the functionality of virtual PC simulator, I'm going to create a lab. So I'm just going to create a lab over here with a new lab, and I'm going to call it VPC, and we can of course call it a virtual PC simulator lab. I'm going to leave the summary empty. Now, once we have the canvas ready, we can select the node. Of course, we can select virtual PC simulator. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to select only one of the virtual PC simulators, and I'm going to select management cloud, and of course we can select a different icon for the management cloud. So we can leave it, we can create it like this, and let's link the virtual PC simulator E0 interface for the virtual PC simulator to the management cloud. Of course, we can align them, and there are a couple of ways of aligning them. We can also select it and say horizontal line. And now we are going to turn on the virtual PC. Once we turn on the virtual PC, of course, we can click on it to get the session into that. To get the different commands, we can click on the question mark sign. And now if I want to get an IP address, so first let's see what is the configuration right now. So if as I can see right now, there is no address assigned to this virtual PC simulator. If I want to get information about this virtual PC, I can type the version command, which will give details about what is the virtual PC simulator version. To get the IP address using DHCP, we can issue the command IP DHCP. As we can see the DORA sequence continuing on. Now we can look into what is the IP address assigned to this machine. We can see right now the IP address assigned is 192.168.189.129, which is in the same subnet as my EVENG. Now if we do a ping to the gateway, or I could do a ping to google.com, since we also got the different options as part of the DHCP, we can do a ping. Now if we do an ARP over here, we can see that it did get the MAC address for the gateway. Now it is also possible to use a static IP address. One more thing which is to be noted is if I do like a stop on this virtual PC, and if I start it over again, we will shortly see that it does not save the configuration. So to save the configuration, there is a command save, and that saves the configuration. Of course, you can pass the file name as a parameter as well. Now if I want to use a static IP address, let's say I want to use a static IP address in the same subnet 192.168.189, and let's say I want to use 100. I give the subnet mask, and I give along with that the gateway IP. So I know for my VMware instance it is 192.168.189.2. Now if we check using the show command, we will see that the address has been assigned. Of course, it did try to check for duplicate address detection on this network. And now if we do ping to 192.168.189.2, of course, we can see the ping is happening. Now, the other thing to note is if we want to save this configuration, as I mentioned earlier, we could use the save command. And if we did that, it has been saved. And if we shut down this machine right now and we bring it back again, we will be able to see that the address that we had used earlier, it is still present. One more thing to notice over here is that if you look into this list of commands, you can also look at the history of the commands from the beginning of this session. What were the different commands we executed? Let's say if I want to use the DHCP again, I can still use IP DHCP, and of course we can save this configuration as well. One more thing to do, and which makes it very easy for debugging, as well as for looking at the different network traffic, is capture. So we can capture on the ETH0 interface. So as we start the capture, we'll be able to see the Wireshark interface, and we will be able to do a capture of the packets and look at that, and we can also export it to our systems. Now let's do the IP DHCP again, and as we run the IP DHCP, we will be able to filter on the display filter. We can run that, and we can see the different in parts of the DORA sequence, discover, offer, request, and act. And of course, we can see what is the Ethernet address it used, and what are the IP header in the packet, and so on and so forth. So this is very useful for testing different functionality of on the in the simulated networks, and I highly encourage that to use this for using it as a very low footprint device for testing either your DMZ or different network topologies that you're testing. In the following videos, I'll be also talking about how we can use Docker and other smaller instances as part of our labs in the EVENG environment.